What's up, guys? This is Kiana, and I'm super excited to join me. Follow me on my trip to St. Augustine, Florida. So, my first stop was to my Airbnb. I had got me a rental, so that's what you see here in this part of the video. So, the first thing I had to do when I got there was get me some Caribbean food. I went to the grocery store, found these delicious maduros or sweet plantains, and I cooked that with some pasta, protein, and cheese. I actually brought the dry pasta myself, like I packed it in my suitcase. And I went to, I think it was Walmart, or actually it was Sprouts, and got the rest of the ingredients for my meal. My hostess were great. They gave me a binder full of activities and places to go. My hosts were really kind. They're part of the deaf community, so we mainly communicated via text messaging. But um, I enjoyed my stay. Like the binder they gave me featured places to go, foods to try, beaches, and the distance to those. So I thought that was very um, thoughtful and creative. Also, this happens to be one of my favorite snacks, cookies and cream gelato from Target, mixed with some sweet plantains. One thing I found in the activities book, because they had it categorized by culture, food, beaches, etc., was Fort Mose. It's a historical site where freed slaves went to in the region of St. Augustine, Florida, to build their own community and crops and lifestyle, really. So when I went to the site, I went to the Freedom Trail and I went through some of the reading prompts they had. It was very educational, very informative, and I got to understand how, Americans just blend. In a nutshell, I learned that African slaves had an opportunity to go work for the Spanish military in Florida, and in exchange, they could build their own community right on the Fort Mose battleground or region. And they chose to do that. They chose to fight with the Spaniards against the English to be able to build their own land, agriculture, in town. And so that was a risk worth taking because they had to travel from certain parts of the South to Florida to be able to even do this. So even though it was colonial driven, meaning the Spaniards had their intention behind it, the Africans had an opportunity to live more comfortably than they had before. And at one point I cried because I'm sensitive to to historical facts. Uh, but really, it was such a moving moment entering into these spaces where even if it was rebuilt or reshaped, um, someone, I don't know, someone was here. And I felt really touched by that and being able to walk across or near something I may be connected to. And then the next day, I went to the St. Augustine Beach. It was definitely giving Baywatch vibes, but I had a good time nonetheless. I wrote in my prayer journal. The sun, I think I arrived there during sunrise, and it was just beautiful. Like the sun had just come up. There were actually a lot of people out there because I think seeing the sunrise is a must do or a must see when you come to St. Augustine. And then I spent some time stretching and just moving in the moment, and being fully present with God. I really enjoy my time here. I get to walk the beach. I think I visited two beaches and also went to a restaurant called First Watch. We have that where I'm from, but the hospitality down in St. Augustine, Florida was 10 out of 10, top notch. I mean, opening the door for me, walking me to my seat, opening the door for me again when I left. It was giving royalty. So I definitely had a good time in St. Augustine. But I took this trip because I had gone through so much. At one point I did go to this like islands donut shop. Delicious. And I left the second beach because I saw the crabs. I was not, no, not happening. But I definitely needed to get away, and this trip really did that for me. I took a walk at the St. Augustine Park. They had some different trails you could walk. Definitely appreciated the serenity of being alone, though low key, I carried my knife just in case. This trip became more than just about getting away. It was about eliminating distractions and really becoming. And so for that, I'm grateful. And I thank St. Augustine for such a magnificent trip. Thank you.